Well, hey, you guys. So one of the toughest but truest lessons in life is that when something seems too good to be true, it usually is. A classic financial example of this is the old 0% interest trick. Yep, seeing the words 0% APR can feel like a sigh of relief when you're making a big purchase that you know you don't actually have the funds to cover. But trust me, this one is a marketing scam that should be avoided at all costs. So today, let's talk about all the things. What's the catch with 0% interest? Why is it too good to be true? How can it hurt you in the long run? And what should you do instead of shopping for cars or other big ticket items? Plus, if you stick around to the end, I'll share the one home improvement horror story about 0% interest that will forever be stuck in my mind. So stay tuned for that. First, let's make sure we're all on the same page about what 0% interest actually is. So 0% APR, or 0% annual percentage rate, is a loan that doesn't charge interest, either for the entirety of the loan or just a certain period of time. So let's be clear, zero interest doesn't mean free. Similar to buy now, pay later deals, zero interest loans are just another marketing tactic that car dealerships or furniture stores use to get people to consider buying whatever expensive item they don't currently have the cash for. And like all sales or limited time only deals, they can seem harmless and even helpful at first. And then you snap back into reality and remember that borrowing a large sum of money for something that you don't have enough cash to purchase puts you in debt and at risk for months or even years down the road. But sadly, debt has been so normalized in our culture that it's not uncommon for people to live most of their lives paying off car loans and credit card minimum payments and student loans every single month. So let's say the idea of debt doesn't scare you and you're not opposed to low interest financing. So how does 0% APR actually work? Well, typically, when you take out a loan on a car, you have to pay back the amount that you borrowed plus interest for however long it takes you to pay off that debt. With zero interest loans, you only have to pay back the original amount on the car. But that doesn't always necessarily mean that you're saving money. Car dealerships offer this as a way to drive up sales on slow-selling models or to clear out less popular inventory and make room for new inventory. And since they're not making money off of you when it comes to interest, they typically will drive up the overall out-the-door price. So instead of saving money, you are paying for a higher price of the car that they're just trying to get rid of. And instead of being financed through a bank or a credit union, zero-interest car loans are set up through the vehicle manufacturer itself, which means you get zero say in the terms of the loan, which actually can be a little strict and even sneaky at times. So if you slip up on just one monthly payment, you'll get hit with a new extremely high interest rates plus other fees and penalties that you never saw coming. And if this is starting to sound a little not too good to be true, you're exactly right. And to sum it up, there are 4 reasons not to fall for 0% interest trick. But first, I want to tell you about a faith-based alternative to health insurance that can make healthcare more affordable, and that is Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM allows members to share each other's healthcare costs, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, choose the healthcare provider you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And Step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members take care of your eligible medical bills. And with no networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best option for Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. So find out more at chministries.org/budget. All right, back to the 4 reasons. You ready? Higher price up front. Number 2, expensive extras that you're more likely to fall for an impulse buy. Number 3, strict repayment terms that leave no margin for error. And number 4, risk of interest rate changing or increasing over time. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, well, if it's 0% APR loans, if they're a bad idea, how am I supposed to afford a car or a couch that I need? Well, before we get into that horror story that I mentioned earlier, it's time for a reality check and a little bit of a pep talk from your good old friend, Rachel. Yep. My answer may sound oversimplified, but trust me, it is the best when it comes to your money. Instead of relying on debt to fund every aspect of your life and constantly trying to keep up with a million minimum payments and pay for things that you are wanting and you're like, oh gosh, my income's going everywhere, pay for things that you need in cash. Yeah, I can hear some of you being like, wait, what? That's insane. But listen, whether it comes to cars or furniture, pay for them in cash, which means it may not be great furniture. It may not be a great car at first, but that's okay. What you can do is actually save a little bit of money every single month and work your way towards something that you're buying, a big purchase with cash. Now, it's not glamorous, it's not instant gratification, but I can say with full confidence that this method will bring you more peace and more control over your money versus surrendering your income to the stressful cycle of constant debt payments. And to put it in realistic terms for you, let's just run a few numbers. Let's say you save $726 per month, which is the average car payment. So instead of having a car payment, you save that. You would have $17,424 in cash in just 2 years. So that's enough to buy yourself a reliable used car. It's great. And imagine if the car that you're driving now was worth $5,000, then put that together and you keep stepping up in car. So this is what's great about it is you're able to say, hey, I'm actually going to take that savings and instead of paying a bank or the car manufacturer, I'm going to pay myself. But like I've mentioned already, the 0% interest trick doesn't just apply to car purchases. I've seen this with outdoor equipment, furniture outlets, hardware stores, and other home warehouses. And even though Home Depot has some great annual sales on appliances, they really screwed one of you guys over recently. Somebody told me the story through social media that I will never forget because this is the perfect example of how 0% interest deals will come back and get you. So this lady on Instagram, she messaged me and was talking about how they had a Home Depot credit card that they forgot about. And then when they went and pulled their credit, they saw it. And it was, at the time, I think, a 0% interest whole scam thing. And now they had to pay interest at 30%. The rate was 30% interest, you guys. So she was like, never again, never again. So repeat after me, you guys. Simple over sneaky. If it seems too good to be true, it's probably because it is. But I also know that it can seem daunting to save up cash for a big purchase, right? Like a car. And so, listen, if you're looking for more margin, one of the best things you can do is budget for your money. Have a plan for your money and tell your income where to go. And that way you can actually take some things maybe out of your expenses throughout the month to be able to save for things like a car. So go to everydollar.com/Rachel and create a budget completely free today, mapping all of this out in real time to really see what you're working with. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out my episode on 5 cars you should never waste your money on. And you'll have to check that one out next. So, as always, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.